A large section of Jamaica's music industry, especially dancehall, is predicated on violent lyrics with an intense glorification of badness, guns, gangs and dance. The irony in that is a number of Jamaican musicians that involves artists, producers, instrumentalists and dancers have fallen victims to said violence being so aggressively portrayed. This is not about blaming any artist for a crime, it is about pointing to the unreal irony. This video will seek to document Jamaican entertainers who would have lost their lives to the unrelenting violence that is so deeply rooted in our society and our music by extension. Before we proceed, smash the like button to pieces, leave a comment, please share the life out of this video, feel free to subscribe for more content, remember to turn on your notification so as to never miss another video.
Let's do it.
The artists will be listed in alphabetical order, starting with Bobby Genius Dwyane Haughton. He was shot and killed on January 3rd, 2011 after he broke up a fight a few hours earlier between a friend of his and a female. According to sources, later that night, Bobby was walking said friend to her car when he was shot several times all over his body. Police officers said they found Haughton bleeding from neck and chest wounds, and he died a short time later at a Jamaican medical center in Queens. He was 29 years old. Next is Bionic Steve, current name Steve Townsend, born on March the 31st, 1966. He died on January 17th, 1997 from stab wounds. His mangled body was found in a gully on Spanish Town Road. Next is Bogle, current name Gerald Levy, born August the 22nd, 1964. On January 20th, 2005, Bogle and 4 others were in his car at a gas station when 2 men on a motorcycle rode by, shooting into the vehicle. The passengers were rushed to Kingston Public Hospital, where the 40-year-old Levy was pronounced dead. Next on the list is Burro, current name Davion Bailey, entertainer slash producer, was gunned down at a recording studio on Dunbarton Avenue, Kingston 10 on September the 12th, 2011 around 4:45 p.m. by unknown assailants. Captain Barkey, current name Wayne Hamilton, born November 5, 1961. He was killed in the Bronx, New York on October 13, 2012 after he was shot in the head in a parking lot along with a female companion. He was 55 years old. Carlton Barrett, born December 17, 1950. He was a reggae drummer who was killed on April 17, 1987. Just as Carlton arrived at his Kingston home and walked across his yard, a gunman stepped up behind him and shot him twice in the head. He died on arrival at the Kingston Public Hospital. He was aged 36. It is theorized that he was shot by his ex-wife's boyfriend. Charlie Ace, current name Valdene Dixon, born December 27, 1945. He was gunned down in Kingston in the early 1980s and was age 71. Coppercat, current name Demar Graham, was shot and killed outside the home of his adopted father, Richie Stevens, in January of 2011. He was only 22 years old. David Bingham, a reggae artist and DJ Black Rat, was shot and killed on July the 20th, 2002 at his home on Dunbarton Avenue in Kingston 10 after his door was kicked open by a gunman. He was only 18. Dirtsman, current name Patrick Thompson, born 1967 in Spanish Town. He was robbed and murdered on December 21, 1993 in Spanish Town, Jamaica. DJ Village, current name Horace Pinnock, born 1977. He was shot dead in London after a robbery on November the 20th, 2001. Early B, current name Earlando Neil, the Doctor, February 28 was 1957 was his date of birth. He was shot to death inside the Windsor Cricket Club in Dorchester, Massachusetts on September 11th, 1994. While rumors have circulated as to the reason behind his death, his killers have never been found. He was 37 years old. Fathead, correct name Vernon Rainford, born 1960. Rainford was murdered in Florida, US on December 22nd, 1988, dying from gunshot wounds. Fathead was actively involved in the Miami drug trade, and it was this involvement that would have led to his death. Free Eye, correct name Jeff Dixon, born on March 31, 1946. Dixon died on September 11, 1987. He was shot and killed along with fellow entertainer Peter Tosh at Tosh's home. General Echo, correct name Errol Robinson, born December 8, 1955, also known as Rankin Slackness. He was shot and killed in an alleged shootout with the police on Constant Spring Road on November 22nd, 1980. Flux and Big John, two members of his sound system, Echo Tone Hi-Fi, also died in the incident. Jah Levi, Hugh Mundell, correct name, was born on June 14, 1962. He was shot and killed in Kingston during a robbery at his home on October 14, 1983 at age 21. Jah Lloyd, correct name Patrick Lloyd Francis, was born August 29, 1947. He was shot and killed in Kingston on June 12, 1999, and he was 52 years old. John Laws, correct name Henry Laws, he was shot to death in Arlesden, North London, England on June 30, 1999 at age 39. Junior Brathwaite was born in 1949, and he was an original member of the Wailers. He was also a lead singer. He was shot to death in Dwyane Park on June 2nd, 1999. King Tubby, correct name Osborne Ruddock, born January 28, 1941. He was gunned down during a robbery outside his home in Tower Hill, Kingston on February 6, 1989. Major Horace, correct name Wayne Jones, born 1966. Major Horace was shot following an intervention in an argument between his friend and a Kingston policeman in August of 1987. Margarita, correct name Anita Mahfood, she died on January 2nd, 1965. She was murdered by her boyfriend Don Drummond, who was a member of the Scatterlights band. He stabbed her to death. She was an exotic rumba dancer and singer. Michael Smith, born September 14, 1954, he was a poet and was stoned to death on August 17, 1983 in Stone Hill, St. Andrew as he passed a political meeting. Next on the list is Mikey Wallace, correct name Michael Wallace, born June 6, 1956 in London. His family relocated to Jamaica in 1961. He was an instrumentalist and played keyboard for Third World. He was shot and killed on July 6, 1999 in Kingston. Nitty Gritty Glenn Augustus Holness, that's his correct name, born in 1957. On June 24, 1991, he was shot dead in front of Superpower Record Shop in Brooklyn, New York at age 34. DJ Supercat was initially suspected, yet later cleared for his death. Nitty Gritty and Supercat reportedly got into an argument over money and a Junior Cat stage show. Details are unknown, but it was reported that both men fired handguns at each other, with Supercat allegedly hitting Nitty Gritty 4 times. Nitty Gritty died on the spot. To my knowledge, Supercat was never jailed and he was found innocent on the grounds of self-defense. Oneil Edwards, a cherished member of the universally regarded dancehall group Voicemail, on May 9, 2010, Edwards was robbed and shot several times in front of his Dwyane Park home and underwent several surgeries in an attempt to regain consciousness. However, 2 weeks later, on May 26, Edwards was pronounced dead. Panhead, correct name Anthony Johnson, born 1966 in St. Mary. He was robbed, then shot and killed at his home on October 10, 1993 in Spanish Town. Peter Tosh, correct name Peter McIntosh, born in Westmoreland in 1944, was murdered at his home on September 11, 1987 during a robbery by his friend Dennis Laban, also known as Lepo. Prince Farai, correct name Michael James Williams, born 1944 in Spanish Town. He was killed during a robbery at his home on September 15, 1983. He was 39. Roach, correct name Patrick Samuels, a popular dancehall producer. He was shot and killed by unknown assailants along a section of Mannings Hill Road in St. Andrew on September 15, 2003. Risto Benji, correct name Michael Benjamin, was shot and killed on Monday, May 16, 2011 in an area known as Vietnam in Church Pen, St. Catherine. Theophilus Beckford, also called Easy Snapping, born in Kingston in 1935, died after he was brutally chopped with a machete in Kingston on February 19, 2001. Tenasaw, correct name Clive Bright, born December 2, 1966 in Kingston. He was found dead on the roadside in Texas, said to be a case of hit and run driving, although other sources insist that he was murdered in August 1998. He was 21. Townsend Brian Letts, Dwyane aka Rankin Dwyane, was murdered back in 1991 in Jamaica.
Beat and teach, so beat and teach, so beat and teach, 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 you beat and teach.
Stabbed, chopped, shot, young age were the recurring themes there. This research was extensive, but I would be making a false declaration if I claim all information stated to be 100% accurate. But this was what I found after digging as deep as I could. With that being said, it is undeniable the reach and influence our Jamaican artists have, and as such, they must use the platforms afforded to them to educate, elevate, and encourage, or else they might just be influencing their own demise down the road. A word to the wise is sufficient, or so they say. I'm out. Thank you for watching the video. Drop a like and a comment down below, and consider subscribing if you haven't done so as yet. Until next time, walk good.